Good afternoon and welcome back to your pick a crystal choice. And if you picked the Lemurian seed, then that was because you have a connection to Lemuria. Your soul is drawn to this for a reason, just like my soul was drawn to my Lemurian crystals. This was one big crystal, you know, that went together like that, but it broke off, and not by chance, you know, because there was some striations that I could get to. So yeah, you know, no coincidences on this path. And I'll talk more about the striations and the benefits of the Lemurian seed soon, but they want us to introduce you to Lemuria. And let's start. So these cards, first of all, was channeled by a lovely lady, and in these cards they hold very powerful, you know, this artwork, they hold very powerful activations. So by activations I mean they can activate a remembrance of, you know, your time in Lemuria, and yeah, and goes very, very cellular, you know, to the DNA. That's where it starts rewiring, is what I call it. Rewiring us and our remembrance of our past life in Lemuria can come back. That's how it happened for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but that's how it happened for me. First of all, I started working with the Lemurian seed in meditation, and this was the very first Lemurian seed quartz that I saw light codes off also. And then, you know, that then brought the remembrance back of my ancient soul language. So, you know, spirit has a plan, you know, every stone creates that ripple effect. So let's get into Lemuria. So welcome to the realm of Lemuria, a magical place infused with an abundance of life force energy. Yeah, this card, these two cards was drawn before, you know, coming online, and life force energy. Yeah. Fertile lands, lush rainforest, crystalline waterfalls, and beings who so gracefully dance with the tides of nature and the ebb and flow of life. There is no scarcity, as all that is required can be created at will. In essence, Lemuria is an elevated state of being, a dreaming that sees beyond the dream. So when I first started working with this particular crystal, my master seed crystal, I call it, I went through a portal, and that might sound crazy to some people, but no, my consciousness took me through this portal, and I went through this portal to be shown where, you know, I came from, one of my past lives of many, and also, you know, for that remembrance to return to me. So by going through this portal, then it activated something in my DNA strands of remembrance of my time in Lemuria, and also that activated then my the light codes. The light codes came into, you know, my vision in the meditation. Then that activated the light language. So by this activation of finding this crystal, and going through that portal, it then activated, you know, my DNA to remember my time in Lemuria and bring my ancient soul language into knowing, you know, that what I had forgotten, you know, on this earthly realm. So Lemuria is the knowing of the universe and all her stars, that all that came before and ever will be, the iridescent shimmer of remembering what we came here to do. Yes, just what I've been saying, just by working with this crystal, and this crystal returned to me. This was my crystal, you know, in my past life in Lemuria. So just by working with this crystal, then that recomputed something inside of me, my DNA, to remember what I came here to do, my soul mission, why I came back to Earth, why I chose to come to Earth to help humanity in this new golden age. That then brought that remembrance back, you know, and it's still bringing that remembrance back on this journey. So it says here, the journey back to wholeness in honour of every part of who we are. So yes, so what we came here to do, the awakening beyond the veil of the mundane, the journey back to wholeness in honour of every part of who we are. This is the unfailing back to our hearts, the sovereign incarnation, the interconnectedness of existence. This is home. Yeah, when I went through this portal and I saw these light codes coming into me, you know, during meditation, these beautiful codes of different symbols and shapes and luminous. This is the colour the light codes was, this white luminous. And they kept coming closer and closer to my face, like a invisible hand was writing them in the sky. Then they kept coming closer to my face and disappearing. And then another one appeared. And then another one appeared. And I will never forget it. It's beautiful, beautiful return of you know, my knowing, it was returning to me all that sacred knowledge that had been hidden. That veil, you know, was lifting at this point. And many points of my journey, the veil had lifted, but at this point, this is where Lemuria was truly online for me, you know. That knowing of Lemuria is home. And this is why I have this aches sometimes in my heart and I feel the heaviness of, you know, the earthly realm so much, because I know, my soul knows I'm not from here. We are not from here. We are from the stars. We are all made up of stardust. That is our true essence. And that is why the loneliness sometimes, you know, can get far too much for me, because the frequency that I hold of unconditional love is nothing like the earthly realm, you know. But this is why I'm here at this time, and many other light workers are here at this time, to seed their frequency into humanity, to help humanity's frequency shift, and, you know, to raise this frequency. And unconditional love is the most powerful frequency we hold, and that is what we are seeding into humanity at this time. And these cards hold very, very powerful activations. They will activate an awareness in you. They will lift that veil of the mundane, and, you know, bring that knowing back to your soul of who you truly are. And, you know, we are not just one. I've mentioned this many times. Also, the multidimensional knowing of myself came online at this point, and knowing that we are not just one, you know, we are many past lives, many dimensions, you know, we are not just one. So I want to speak a little bit about Lemuria. So also known as Mu, Lemuria was another civilization that existed on the planet at the same time or just before Atlantis. Located in the Pacific Ocean, its residents were of a gentler, more earth-based nature. They also worked with the crystalline forces of minerals and the planets. They sought to be in harmony with life rather than the hierarchical power that would push evolution to the threshold and eventually bring extinction across the planet. Yeah, you know, you might hear me speak about the hierarchy, the patriarchy, the suppression. That is my knowing, my soul knowing of, you know, my Lemurian roots, shall we say, essence coming through. I know that there's a different way we can live and be, you know, on this planet. You know, quite a low density planet is Earth, not quite the sea, and it is. But this frequency, you know, that light workers, light worshipers hold. That's what we are seeding into this humanity. It is very, very much needed at this time. And so let's get back to the things, the channeling through is that I'm feeling a bit, just have to ground a minute. It's very, very high, loving vibrational energy, but you know, do remember we are of both. We are from the heaven and the earth. So yes, ground, they're telling me. Okay. Just take a breath. So when these beings channel through me, you know, Lemurian elders, godmothers, fathers, it's very, very high powerful frequency. Although I am Lemurian myself, I'm also of the earth. I'm on this planet. So you must remember to ground. So Lemuria and Atlantis may have resided in physical reality. They are also accounts that imply these civilizations exist or existed in a multidimensional overlay to the reality with which we are more familiar. Whatever you believe, their lessons, stories and understanding of the universe and the future of humanity is accessible to us. When we work with the energies of their blueprints, that's it. That was what returned. It was the blueprint of my soul. You know, that is what's been returned to me by the healing and the energy work I have done on this earthly realm. That is why the knowing of Lemuria and, you know, that my Lemurian gifts that I concede into humanity at this time as returned to me because of the blueprint that's inside of me already. So when we work with the energies of their blueprints as mythical stories, archetypes, or as a reality that is even more true than the physical, as our indigenous kin may inspire us to see, we can find our way to their wisdom. Yeah, and I found my way to the wisdom that was already inside of me, you know, by working on my life force energy, that then brought that wisdom of my Lemurian gifts, you know, back to me. Then I can bring them to humanity. You may be familiar with Lemurian quartz crystals or seed crystals, as they are also known as they are found buried in the ground. These crystals are indented with lines. Yeah, they have striations on them, which I've spoken about. And these striations are a barcode of sacred, hidden knowledge that is ready to return to Earth for Earth's ascension. So they say these crystals are indented with lines, ridges and furrows, and it is said that they hold Lemurian wisdom that will one day be significant to a future civilization. Yes, our civilization. That is why they have retained. There seems to be an influx of Lemurian incarnates on Earth right now. Yes, I'm one of them. Another view is that the archetypal message these beings carry is showing up in increasing prevalence. There is a remembering of a realization that the keys for a sustainable future are in the ancient roots of our ancestors and the lost civilizations that came before. Very, very much so. Now, I've always had a knowing of like the film Avatar, you know, the Hollywood film Avatar, ley lines, the energy, the life force energy that we get from the earth. When I watched that film, it hit very much deep, you know, the knowing of, I knew something but I didn't know what I knew at that stage when Avatar first came out. Now, years down the line of my self-healing journey and Lemuria returning and a knowing, you know, of my roots, yes, very, very much know why I was drawn to that film, like many. So this shows how the Lemurian imagery and information is dropleting through our culture at this time. Yes, totally. You just have to look at Avatar, watch the film, and you know, it's all in there. You know, just channeling from the Lemurian elders makes me emotional. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that knowing, and you know, me going through the portal and seeing the civilization that is my home, you know, yeah, very much pulls on my heartstrings, and the longing to go home, but knowing that I can't go home because I have a very important mission on earth in this ascension to help others, you know. So yeah, I get very, very emotional, and that's just the frequency that I hold, you know, of unconditional love. It's the most powerful frequency. So right now we are facing a parallel story of Lemuria and Atlantis. By working against the laws of nature rather than with them, humanity heads towards the possibility of erasing life on Earth. Now this is what this lady channeled. These are not my words, but this is what this lady channeled in these oracle cards. I don't know how old these oracle cards are. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, the shift starts from within ourselves as we move through our own trauma, triggers and powerful struggles. We create space for light and life force. We can build on our true innocent power and embrace the possibility of bridging heaven and earth. Now, yes, if you've heard me speak about we are heaven and earth, we can bridge that, you know, and by bridging that, we heal. You know, we heal our planet. So I'm just going to get the where is it gone? Read a little bit about this life force energy. But you know, when you start working on your own energy, your life force energy, and you bring that back to yourself, that is when you heal. And you can then heal, not heal others, because nobody has that power to heal you. You hold that power inside of yourself already, but you can help others heal. You can show them the way. You can be that light for them, you know. So life force energy. You want me to hold the card up? for please, please just take these cards in, because when I do say they have powerful activations, they most certainly do. Energy, mana, Aina, the rainbow spectrum, bright white light, reiki, celebrating life, God force, optimal health, being vibrantly alive, thriving nature, conscious consumption, Eden, the body as a temple, bringing earth into balance, cell rejuvenation, the love of the land. What happens when we seek to maximise the life force energy in everything we do? Toward the completion of this oracle deck, I was called to visit Hawaii. I heard it is known to be the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. So this lady went to Hawaii, and you know, as she says, she's heard it's the last remaining part of the lost continent of Lemuria. So she went with an open mind and was sincerely blown away by the incredible level of life force energy radiated there. You know, just like the film Avatar, they got their life force energy from the land, and you know that then radiated, you know, into them, you know. So that was their source of life force energy. And she says she was an avid traveller and a seeker of high vibrational places, but had never experienced such potency of the magic. And she says, the main inspiration of my art, in every cell of every bright green leaf I could sense the songs of Lemuria in this pristine place. Yeah, when I visited Lemuria in my meditation and went through that portal, you could feel the life force energy there. I could feel the love and health and the pure just bliss. You could just feel you know, the love, the magic there. Yeah, the magic and the magic in these cards. Look how beautiful they are. And this is what it lit up like, also a luminous, and when I say rainbows and waterfalls, it was like a place I'd never seen before in my life, what this lady is explaining. And you know, I got this deck not long back, but I'd gone through the portal a few years before getting this deck. So what this lady's explaining is exactly what I'm explaining, you know. So yeah, no coincidence there, but this deck came a few years after I'd seen this in my meditation. And also a couple of times I've been back again, and you know, long to go back. It's one of the most crystals that I use because it's the most connection that I feel of any past life that's returned to me. So yeah, you know, she says this is an incredible healing card packed with luminous life force energy. Yeah, you can just see it. Energy for optimal health and healing. It reminds you to seek joy and upliftment in everything you do, as much as is possible. Consider the foods you eat, the environments you spend your time in, the people in your life, and even the things you wear. Increase your awareness of their journey, how they came to be in your world, and their energetic resonance. Yes, because you know, everything is energy. And once you know that, you start changing the life around you. You know, my house is full of crystals, my knowing of the healer that I am, I am, they're saying I am. But, you know, it's full of the remembrances of my past lifetimes, you know, is my home. It's full of plants, full of natural energy, you know, that that I know is so important. Why? I remember it's so important. That remembrance has returned to me. And so she says, yeah, that you know, they came into your world and their energetic resonance. Are they alive and vibrant? You may also be inspired to work with healing energies such as Reiki or the land. Yeah, that was another thing that came back to me. My gifts, my soul gifts. I'm a Reiki practitioner, you know, soon to become Reiki master. Angelic Reiki also. Light language, my ancient soul language returned to me. Why? Because I started to eat the right foods, clean my environment up, stay away from toxic people in my life, you know, although I wouldn't call them toxic, you know, that I wouldn't say you're toxic, you know, I wouldn't, but I could feel that energy did not resonate with me anymore. I was on a different frequency. I was at my original frequency, you know, my soul frequency, the frequency that got hidden when I came to Earth, you know. I've returned to that frequency. So yeah, when you don't resonate with things around you anymore, it's okay, you know, to let go. You may also be inspired to work with healing energies as Reiki or with the land, perhaps to grow vegetables. You are encouraged to joyously make your life a piece of Eden. As a result, you will shine with vitality. Yeah, 100% my journey in a nutshell. My surroundings, my environment, my friends, family, who I surround myself with, what I eat, what I wear. All life force energy that has an important part, you know, to play with our soul journey, remembering our soul journey. And this card came out. Again, please take the card in. Beautiful. And it's unique gifts. Eseo koshono yo, eo toyo ne yemeye, e soto ya si, e koshoto, e sekoto shoto, e asetia, e asatia, e shoto ya ne yamaye kosoya ne yayo, e sono shimini, e kotia, tia shoto yo no yo. Just let that light language integrate. Unique gifts, yeah, and they're saying that is one of my unique gifts that has returned to me. And yeah, my soul gift. So I shall read a bit from this card, and then I will tell you a few bits of benefits of working with these crystals, and then I shall leave it there because I'm trying to get shorter and shorter, but like I said, the channeling comes through, but I know TikTok is more scroll. I'm trying, but spirit comes through the way they come through, and that's the authenticity of my channel. I can't cut it off just to suit TikTok. Sorry, TikTok. Unique gifts, your superpowers, a sense of purpose, the meaning behind your quirks, exploring your interests, shortcomings as unique, undiscovered skills. You want me to hold it up again? So yeah, so she says here, the lady, again, channeled this. I passionately believe that we all have gifts to bring to the world. If we all did what we truly truly excelled in and enjoyed, our talents and abilities would enable our communities and our planet to thrive. What would the world be like if each person contributed from a place of overflowing enjoyment without obligation? Yeah, you know, I do what I do on this channel because I'm divinely guided, for one, and two, I love helping others. That's just the nature in me. And three, it brings me joy and healing also. So by healing, by helping others heal, I heal myself, you know. So that's the community I'm trying to create on here. You know, this is not just my channel, it's our channel. Whoever follows me, it's our channel, and you are contributing to me also by following me, you know, and seeing something in my authenticity and, you know, the realness of me and the healing. My unique gifts are the healing that I bring to you, you know, for you to heal yourself on your journey. These are my unique gifts. Me speaking light language, yes, that's a very unique gift, you know. But we all have our own unique gifts. Every one of us, is what they're saying. So some of us have already discovered or remember what we feel we are here to do. Yes, well, I have. Obviously, I'm speaking my ancient language. I wouldn't be speaking this ancient language if I knew, you know, it wasn't right for me to do. You know, I'm being, my soul's guiding the way, and that is why I've remembered what I came here to do. To speak the language of unconditional love, they're saying. Eteo sukoyanayamano, he shotoyanea, ek osianene, oyonoyonosi, eko shotoyanenane, amasiano shoto. Feel into your heart, dear one. Feel the unconditional love that emanates through this card. Stop seeking outside of yourself, dear one, dear ones. Look inside. Your unique gifts are there to uncover. So some of us have already discovered or remembered what we feel we are here to do. Others are still seeking or just starting to consider this idea. Your inspiration may come as a message in a vision or dream. It may be something others have recognised in you for a long time. It may come from a deep resonance with something you are yet to try. You may be concerned it will affect or transform your current lifestyle. Your gift or purpose may be something you enjoyed immensely as a child but did not bring into your adult life. Perhaps there is an array of shoulds holding you from what you love doing. When there is enjoyment in what you do, you can give more to it, way beyond your usual capacity. Yeah, you know, when something lights us up and it's not that 9 to 5 job or whatever hours you may work, and it's not that mundane grind, you know, that this earthly realm seems to put on us, you know, and we take that because we think that's the right thing for us to do. You know, my son only yesterday and he's only 23, he's just turned 23, and he was speaking, Mum, there's more to life than this, you know, and I'm just sat there nodding, and I'm totally agreeing with him, because he's wise beyond his years, you know, and also he lives with me, and my resonance, my life force energy then emanates out to him, and anyone I come into contact with, that my energy, my frequency then emanates onto them. You know, that is the energy that I hold. So my son, you know, is on about leaving England and travelling, and I know he will do it. Everything he sets his mind to, he does. Is old, you know, beyond his years. And my youngest son at the moment is in Thailand for 2.5 weeks, you know. He's an explorer. He's following his soul. You know, although that is at the stage where he probably doesn't know his soul is leading him, he is very much an old soul. I see that in him. I've spoken that out to him. You know, so yeah, the energy, the environments that you surround yourself with have this impact on us, you know, of the choices that we make also. And she says here, you know, when there is enjoyment in what you do, you can give more to it, way beyond your usual capacity. It lights you up when you think or talk about it, and you need less in your life as you are fulfilled through doing it. When you don't do it, you might feel ungrounded or low in energy. Yeah, what makes you, what lights you up? What wants to get you out of bed in the mornings? You know, I know what does me, and this is this channel, and also my reiki work that I do, and also helping family and friends and my 2 sons, you know, on their journey. The sacred knowledge I hold and the healing that I have done, many years of self-healing and coming back to myself, and the remembrance of these unique gifts inside myself, is now rippling out and helping my family, my friends, and everyone that I come into contact with. And that is not ego, they are saying. The ego is healed and balanced on this journey. It is a knowing, and when you know, you know. The soul remembers all, and your unique gifts do return to you. So look at your quirks and what they are telling you. You may struggle some things because your mind works differently in these areas. Things you may have considered shortcomings might be the qualities that enable your gifts. Yeah, you know, my shortcomings as a child was I was fat or sensitive, although I thought I was just a nice loving child, you know, but when you get told you're too sensitive and everyone around you does not feel like you, and you feel different, then that does happen to feel like a shortcoming, you know. And also in my adult life, you're too sensitive, you're taking things too seriously. That does feel like people are saying that's a shortcoming, you know, and I listened to that for quite a long time. I don't listen to that now because I know it's not a shortcoming, it's a gift. And me being empathic and sensitive is a gift, you know. That sensitivity is my empathy for others. Not everybody has that. It's a very beautiful, unique gift to feel what others, you know, are feeling and needing. You're seeing beyond that veil, you know, where others can't see. You're feeling where others can't feel. I love my gifts now, and I fully step into, you know, all of my gifts. My light language, the reiki, my knowing of crystals. You know, people ask me, how do you know this? My soul knows it. It remembers it from my time, you know, my past lives. those gifts that have returned to me from doing the healing, from this life force energy, from surrounding my environment with healthy people, healthy food, healthy lifestyle, yoga daily for years. You know, this path has come hard. It's not an easy path, but wow, when your unique gifts start returning to you, it's so worth it. And then this sets you on a path of using these unique gifts for others, because you might have heard me say, these gifts are not meant to be kept to self. These unique gifts are magical gifts, and they are meant to be shared with others. Now, keep getting drawn to these at the side of this card here. And I just wanted to take these symbols in. Very powerful activations in all of these cards. Okay, and let's get to, so what makes you unique? Any quirks that you feel are shortcomings could be the key to your superpowers. Look for the positive sides of your oddities and traits. How would you like to spend more time? Are there things you would like to try or feel a pull to explore? Yeah, just like my children. They want to explore the world. And, you know, they're feeling that pull. The soul is pulling them there. And I say to them, go for it, kids. You get one life on this earthly realm that you remember until you start waking up. You know, but in the human sense, you know, we all say, don't we? We get one life, you've got to live it. And in the human sense and the mummy sense, I say, go for it, kids. Live this life. Yeah. But me as a soul who's highly awake now, yeah, remembers my past lives, you know, but that's their path, and they're going to follow it, you know, and it makes them happy, and that you can't put a price on, you know. And how would you like to spend more time? Are there things you would like to try or feel a pull to explore? Now is the time to follow these whispers. You never know how transformational they may be. Yeah, you know, my son, also getting back onto my son, visited Zanzibar, and at first glance he was, whoa, looks a bit, ooh, rough here, you know, but something changed in him on that trip. Something, it showed him how lucky he was to have this life, how lucky he was to have a roof over his head, food on the table, and the children there, you know, just playing with a football, and, you know, so grateful for what they have. It opened his eyes to how much he has had and has. And that set him on his journey, you know, of wanting to explore more and see more of the world, and that different viewpoint of, you know, what's beyond where you live, you know, gave him a different perception, they're saying. His perception changed of his life, you know, and the life that he wants to lead while he's on this earthly realm, you know, in this life. Okay. Whew. Don't think any more light language is coming through. They're saying they're letting me ground. Yeah, very powerful frequency. So, shall I speak a little bit about the seed, and then I'm going to go, because these videos take very long to go through. And again, sorry TikTok, but I think I'm changing the whole scrolling. You know, and the thing is, I'm not concerned about the followers, you know, if it's too long for them, because this is going to reach who it's meant to reach. And this is a platform that Spirit guided me to reach out to others on when I started this channel a good few months back now. So I know, and I trust wholeheartedly, these readings will reach, and these messages will reach who they're meant to reach and the activations they're saying, the powerful activations of transformation. So the Lemurian seed, these powerful crystals hold sacred knowledge, the teachings from Lemuria, you know, that lost civilization. Let's have a look. We did write it more down, channeled it before coming on. So yeah, these crystals are believed to have been planted by the advanced Lemurian civilizations to preserve knowledge. Yeah, and honestly, they do, 100%. I can witness that. So they bring, you know, that knowledge back to us of yeah, our time in Lemuria. Very, very beautiful high vibrational crystals, very transformational for us. The striations that you rub down, they are the barcodes, so they are our doorway to this knowledge, you know. So during meditation I will stroke the striations, and then that remembrance returns to me. Not all the time, but certain times of my journey I have gone through that portal again, but not all the time when I meditate with these does that happen. It happens when it's meant to happen. So yeah, very, very powerful healing crystals for, you know, for many areas of our, very, can't stress, you know, how powerful these crystals are and magical. So I'm going to leave it there because it's 46 minutes and yeah, getting on again. So I hope whoever this reading was meant to reaches you. And yeah, you know, just embrace your oddities, they're saying, your unique gifts. Turn them. What people say are odd about you, and you know, we've all been there. I've been there many, many times. I'm the oddest in my family. I'm meant to be. Why? I'm the change maker. I'm the way shower. I'm showing people a different way of living and being and loving. That's why. These are very unique gifts. So embrace your unique gifts. Okay. I shall leave it there. And I shall speak to you all soon. Bye.